Hi everybody and welcome into a brand new episode of Caton'S Corner here on CTV. As always, I'm your host, Tom Caton. And before we begin today's show, I'd like to take this brief moment and wish my grandma, Connie, a happy 86th birthday. Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you and can't wait to celebrate when we get the chance. So let's take a moment and talk about food. Everyone loves food and we all eat it to survive. But did you know that certain foods we eat can either add or subtract time off your life? We all know our eating habits play a vital role in our health, but some foods could either make us live longer or not live longer. This is real, I'm not kidding. The University of Michigan conducted a study to find out how many minutes certain foods can either add or subtract from your life. This study researched 5,800 foods and looked at more than 6,000 different factors to evaluate the risk level that comes with eating that food. Now, if you want to increase your life expectancy, let's go over the foods that were researched and can potentially add minutes to your life. We have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that can add 33 minutes to your life. Certain seafoods can add up to 48 minutes. Sardines can add 82 minutes. Salted peanuts can add 26 minutes. Most fruits, veggies, and I can never pronounce this word, legumes, can add anywhere from 2 to 30 minutes to your life. And for all you coffee drinkers, it says if you drink at least 2 cups of coffee each day, it can potentially add up to 2 years on your life, which is good for me. So all you coffee enthusiasts, you're in luck. But unfortunately, there's food out there that can subtract time from your life as well. Let's go over those foods. If you enjoy hot dogs, you may not know this, but for each hot dog you eat, it can take 36 minutes off your life, which means I've taken several years off of my life. A slice of pizza can take 7 minutes. Corned beef can take a whopping 71 minutes off your life. And other unhealthy foods like hamburgers, sugary drinks, and breakfast sandwiches have also made the list related to losing time from your life expectancy. And lastly, this is pretty much a given. The fast food industry grosses more than $100 billion each year, but certain food items from their menus can possibly take up to 10 years off your life. So I guess you need to be careful for what you eat. For a full list of foods that can add or subtract time from your life expectancy, you can certainly conduct your own research on the internet. But with that being said, let's switch over into our next topic. Let's jump into this week's Hot Topics, my favorite segment here. So first up, we have this transparent headed fish, barrel-eyed fish, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's been spotted off the coast of California, just when you don't need another reason to go swimming in the ocean. Like I said, it's been spotted off the coast of California, and this freaky fish has a transparent head and can see through its actual forehead. But this fish will probably not bother you because it only grows up to be about 6 inches long and can swim at depths of 2,000 feet. Next up, Minnie Mouse is getting a designer makeover. For the 30th anniversary of Disneyland Paris, Minnie Mouse has ditched her iconic red and white polka dot dress for a designer pantsuit. The pantsuit features matching black and blue polka dot pants, a blazer, and a bow. This vibrant pantsuit was created by British designer Stella McCartney. Next up, we've heard of spicy foods, but have you ever heard of a spicy soda? That's right, Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew are teaming up to unveil a new soft drink called Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. This drink was launched last August, and it quickly sold out after its release, and I bet a lot of people were disappointed. It just looks nasty. And lastly, here's some good news to report. Speaking of pandemic-wise, there's been a significant drop in COVID-19 cases around the country. Cases have declined by nearly 53% as of February 2nd, and hospitalizations have decreased by about 22% as well. So maybe we're headed in the right direction, I don't know. That concludes this week's edition of Hot Topics. Make sure you tune in next time for more. Okay, we will take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'll be sitting down with my first guest. Don't go anywhere, you're watching Caton'S Corner on CUTV.
Back by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natali Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natali Evening Eats, located on the 2nd floor of Natali next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., Natali Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. My first guest is a Cal U art professor. He has done some incredible work and has influenced many Cal U students during his time here. Everyone, please welcome Cal U art professor, Mr. Todd Pinkham. Hello.
Hello. You got the name right. That's good.
Well, that's good to hear. So, you want to take a quick moment and briefly introduce yourself?
Okay. Foremost, I teach. I teach here at Cal U. You'll find me stuck away at the art building in the art studio painting because I foremostly think of myself as a painter, although I do a brief line of clothing, which I'll model today.
You'll definitely need to explain that jacket.
Probably need to explain a lot of things, yes.
I think you said you created this yourself, correct?
Strangely, as a class project with students, we were doing some events that required us to be at these kind of pay-to-play art shows, and I kind of got bored just being a painter and just hanging stuff up on the wall. So I'm like, and students wanted to do it again, and I'm like, I don't want to be a painter anymore. I'm like, what else can I do? And they're like, well, you could be a fashion designer. And I'm like, okay. So unfortunately, I put myself in as a fashion designer, and what really, really hurt was I'm in my studio one day and I get a phone call, and apparently it was a newspaper interviewing me for the show as a fashion designer. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of new at this, i.e. I kind of made some stuff up, but ended up being a fashion designer for the show. It went beautifully. And they sell better than my paintings. So.
That's all that matters. So how long, I think we were talking a little bit before the show started, but how long have you been teaching art here?
Too long. No, 18 years. Too fast is how it feels. You might remember me when I had hair here, but I no longer have hair. But it's okay. I kind of like it. It's easier to get up in the morning and do talk shows. I don't know.
I wish I could say the same. It probably takes me the longest to do my hair.
It looks quite nice. I'm quite jealous. There you are.
It'll be gone in 50 years or so.
Oh, probably.
But so with you teaching art, is there any aspects that excite you the most about teaching it?
We live in interesting times right now. I'm traditionally trained, which really amazes my students. I'm an oil painter. I do landscapes, do figure, but the world is changing. Currently, next class, kind of doing digital worlds, and that's kind of my interest now, because I think it's inevitable. And I think that's where the jobs are going to be. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of problems with it right now. Don't even get me started about the stock on the metaverse right now. But the world is definitely changing. And the only art, philosophy I will actually say is I think art should reflect the time that it's being made in. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Even though, I still prefer oil painting, it doesn't really necessarily work that way for people. Mm-hmm. This weekend, I'm collaborating with a sculptor, and we're going to try to make an 8-foot head that's going to open up and turn into a lotus leaf and all this stuff, because that's the prototype, because I'm going to try to get out to Burning Man this fall. I've been going to Burning Man. A lot of people around campus know me, probably because of that interest. I started a camp about 12 years ago, and that's just it. With the pandemic, it was a rebel burn last year. My camp went, but I did not. But I'm trying to build this 8-foot head into a 16-foot head. Yeah. It's going to be rotating on a stage, and then I live paint. And so that head is only going to be my canvas, and I'll do 3 performances where each night I'm going to start out with the theme, which is Waking Dream, and I'm going to try to live paint, be entertaining on this huge rotating canvas in the round. And I don't know, that's kind of what I really am doing now on a world stage, is live painting to people to just watch. But it's the largest art festival in the world. So that's kind of where I want to be right now.
And then you're speaking of art projects. Were any projects in the past, or maybe ones you're currently working on, were any of those exciting for you?
Oh, the excitement level. Actually, they're all just kind of a drag, and all I get stuck with is the work. But no, I've had some opportunities. I've done some public works, which I really think is what the Cal U community knows me as. I've painted some large murals down by the boat docks locally here. Strangely, I've painted a restaurant interior. I wasn't going to do this, but I just loved the owner, and I met with them, and I'm telling my wife I really don't want to paint a restaurant interior, so I ended up taking a whole summer painting a restaurant interior. But again, I think, I need to give back to the community. I do believe in communities, so that's kind of what I think I get myself into.
So still speaking of art projects, were there any, besides the ones you mentioned, any projects you worked on that were your most favorite or anything along those lines?
Again, I got to bring Burning Man into it because the joke of Burning Man is it's always better next year. I kind of believe I embrace that philosophy. Again, I'm very lucky. If I choose to take on something, or even forced to take on something, I'm gonna do it, I think, to please myself. So it's a really horribly selfish thing to be an artist. But I think, there's a lot of horribly selfish things to do in the world. I'm probably more benign by being an artist. So I don't know. I just try to get caught up in the now, try to do the best that I can on every project. And, I'm excited. And again, it's this weekend. I got to go meet up with this other artist, and we've worked together in the past. He's a great sculptor. And, we were texting last night, it's like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And I'm like, yeah, me too. So, it's, I don't know, it's a privilege. I mean, and this, like I said, hopefully is getting funded by someone else and everything else. But, we're allowed to collaborate, and that's going to be really what it means to me, the experience of doing it and the chance to work with this other artist. So.
I know everyone gets their start somewhere in the world, but how did you first get involved with the world of art?
Okay, I was an only child, and I was a really weird only child. I don't know if my parents knew what to do with me. And again, my influences are really kind of weird. Small town, Meyersdale, PA. I loved carnivals that came to town. I love county fairs. My wife believes that I've finally gone and done it. I've joined the circus, which is Burning Man, which is made up of some former carnies. So I like that. And like I said, it's I don't know, it's kind of driven my interest. But a lot of comic books, a lot of coloring books, which seem really dumb, but I'm talking like a lifelong interest since when I was little. So it's like I'm now 53 years old if I make it till May. And I'm just like, what I'm doing right now with my own work is I'm trying to pay homage to the comic books, to the coloring books, because I really think it's part of my life. And, it's like maybe mid-career, I just want to be maybe focusing on art that I understand or want to understand myself by doing. So I'm kind of revisiting all that. So basically, I'm afraid to tell everyone that you're kind of seeing me at age 9, which I think was the height of all my creative endeavors. It's just taken me a lifetime to be able to maybe get back to age 9. So.
And with also that, all the work that you've done, because I've seen pictures and all that, and it's amazing. So, and it can probably be found online. Where can your work be be found online?
Well, on the dark web. Don't trust these deep fake. No. Some of it's out there. I played around with some of this tech early on. That said, I'm older and I've gotten busier, so I'm really bad. And I'm sorry if you find me on my social media, you're probably going to see pictures of my cute cats and my cute dogs, and I do own a pony. So it's, like I said, I'm out there, and my students will follow me. I have to be totally transparent because some of the stuff I get involved in, it's like, working for a major university.
Right.
They're like, and what are you doing now? And I'm like, oh. I try to really be an ambassador, for the art world, for the projects that I do, for Cal U, and that's just it. So I live very much I'm out there. You can find me. That said, these are called hyena carcasses, and my playa name is Hyena, so you may find me nosing around under Hyena. Also, some of the shows, as I am old and don't have hair anymore, I like to use the Hyena as a moniker, just so that people don't have to worry about meeting some codgy old professor at an art show. So, and then I get to stand in the corner and, have the cheese and the wine and listen to people say, well, I really don't get this work. I don't like it. It's like, why don't people make pretty art anymore? So, I don't know.
But before we wrap up this interview, any final words you would like to say?
Thank you for having me. I mean, still not sure why I was here.
I was suggested.
I know.
I was brought with the suggestion.
So for anyone that put you up to this, I'll find out. No, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for being here. Well, thanks for being here, Professor Pinkham. As you saw the graphic a little bit ago, with Professor Pinkham's Instagram page, Hyena Forward Laughing. So that's where Hyena came from.
It might be the laugh. Might be when I'm very nervous. So coming up on a promotion committee interview, they'll probably hear the laugh. So which I won't leave you with.
Well, okay.
Leave them wanting more.
Exactly. All right, well, we will take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Vulcan basketball is back at Bloomsburg, at East Stroudsburg. Women at Bowie State. Men home versus Carlow. Home versus Westchester. Home versus Millersville. Home versus Kutztown. Home versus IUP. At UPJ. At Shepherd. Home versus Slippery Rock. At Edinburgh. At Clarion. At Mercyhurst. Home versus Gannon. Home versus Seton Hill. At Slippery Rock. Home versus Pitt Johnstown. Women at Salem. At IUP. Home versus Edinburgh. At Seton Hill. Home versus Clarion. Home versus Mercyhurst. At Gannon. Follow the Vulcans live on CUTV Sports 1, on the PSAC Digital Network, and at calvulcans.com.
Welcome back, everybody. As you know, it is February, which is also known as Black History Month, and so much information and knowledge can be learned throughout the month. And my next guest is here to talk about some of the events that will be going on campus here throughout the month. Please welcome the current Black Student Union President, Savannah Dorsey.
Thank you.
Hi, Savannah. Nice of you to be here. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
I'll say before we get started, everyone just looks so good on camera today.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll say you,
I
Professor
tried.
Pinkham. With me, the number one rule of like a television show, don't be seen in the same outfit twice. So that's my personal rule. So I had to go out and buy new clothes. But
A little stressed trying to find something to wear this morning. So.
But before we get started, even though I just briefly introduced you, would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah. So my name is Savannah Dorsey. I I'm very involved here on campus, but my major is criminal justice. I am a senior, graduating this spring. Ooh, yay. But I am the president of the Black Student Union, chapter president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm involved with SAB, their treasurer, secretary, and a lot of other things.
Is that senioritis kicking in yet? Or?
I think it's a moment of like, it's bittersweet right now because it's like, I'm old. I feel old now. It's like I'm at the top, and it happened so quickly, especially due to COVID. Like we weren't here and come back, and it's like, ooh, over. So.
Right. So before we jump into all the events going on, would you like to explain what the Black Student Union is? And you said you're the president and other involvements. If you would care to explain? Yeah.
So the Black Student Union, basically, what I like to call it is like the hub, the safe space. Just like a big old family for Black and minority students here on campus. It's great. I think every school needs to have one, especially at a PWI. We talk about things that students may not feel comfortable talking about openly, and we get to learn from each other. I think it's all about intelligence. We don't come from the same place, so it's pretty cool to find out about another student's background compared to my own, and I guess just have fun. Like a family.
And so I know I've seen some of the events have been posted on the Instagram page, but what kind of events are in line? Because I know events have happened already, because as we're filming today, it's February 10th. Some events have happened last week, this week, but there's definitely more events to come, right?
Of course, yeah. So like today we have Jeopardy, so it'll be like Black Jeopardy today. Tomorrow we do, we have a weekly schedule. We go and put them up each week. So next week's flyer will be dropped on Friday, and we talk about, so I go off of the university's events that they have on there first, so I'll see what they have for like next week, and we'll put that in the schedule, and then we'll try to throw in like a spirit day. So this week was like bonnets and do-rags. Next week maybe it'll be like all black. I'm not too sure. We haven't really figured that one out. But then we'll do like Wednesday trivia on our Instagram story, so students who follow us could receive a prize, like Black student gear or something like that. And then Friday we do Black Friday, and we like do a scavenger hunt, and we try to promote like student businesses and everything, because any student that's able to juggle being a student, work, and having their own business, I think it's phenomenal. Like,
right,
so we try to highlight that as well.
Definitely, that's something. I would say I'm struggling enough just as a student, but to see all the work that some of those students do, that's incredible.
I know.
I
don't got time.
But so I know personally for me, learning all historical events and historical people during Black History Month, it's very interesting. And because I'm not really associated with that, so it's so fascinating to learn, see all these historical events and people, they stood up for what they thought was right. And so for you, what does Black History Month personally mean to you, and why do you think it's so significant?
To me, I think the whole month long, I hate that it's subjected to that, but I understand the history and why it has become a month long. But I think it's just more of a celebration for Black people in general. So to look at the excellence and the achievement and the positive impact it has on the community, I think overall just ties all that together, along with learning new things for other people as well. But something that people don't see on a daily basis, or that's not always put out there, but like a month long of just achievements that people, I guess you can say, can be bombarded by, but in a positive way. So many people look to that.
I know I can name some people off the top of my head, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, I think, just to name a few. But they've done incredible work. I know as we learned in history class in the past, and just continuing to learn, because I know personally I was not brought up on that, and I wish I was. I wish I could have learned a little bit more. But that's why Black History Month is so interesting, because almost every day you can learn something new.
Exactly.
And so I know Cali students, they definitely, if they want to stay up to date, how can they stay up to date?
So there's a couple different ways. So the university does have, like I was saying, a page on the Cal UPA page about all Black History Month events. So there is that. And then on our BSU page on Instagram, CalU_BSU, you could find every week's event and everything that we post on our story about those type of things that we're doing there, and just the whole post of what it is, and we also send them out so they could be posted around the screens and everything on campus.
I'm excited because out of all the Cal Instagram pages for different clubs and that, CUTV is number one since I'm here, but I love the Black Student Union.
Thank you.
Instagram
We
page
try to
because-
be so active. It is hard, but we try.
Exactly. So, like Savannah said, CalU _ BSU. But before that, so what do you think, we might have explained already, but what can people learn throughout the month of February for Black History Month?
Just reiterating the excellence and the positive impact, but I think it's also a time to acknowledge that Black History Month is not like, Black history is not just subject to that 1 month. It's not just February. It is American history, and it entices every year for decades and what it has always done. And I think leaving it up to just 1 month doesn't...
It shouldn't be limited to just the 1 month.
Exactly, but... it is
long story short.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely. All right, well, Savannah, thank you very much for being here to inform about all that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Savannah and I will play a quick game. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Caton'S Corner on CUTV.
Vulcan basketball is back. At Bloomsburg. At East Stroudsburg. Women at Bowie State. Men home versus Carlow. Home versus Westchester. Home versus Millersville. Home versus Kutztown. Home versus IUP. At UPJ. At Shepherd. Home versus Slippery Rock. At Edinburgh. At Clarion. At Mercyhurst. Home versus Gannon. Home versus Seton Hill. At Slippery Rock. Home versus Pitt Johnstown. Women at Salem. At IUP. Home versus Edinburgh. At Seton Hill. Home versus Clarion. Home versus Mercyhurst. At Gannon. Follow the Vulcans live on CUTV Sports 1, on the PSAC Digital Network, and at calvulcans.com.
Welcome back, everybody. The show is almost over, and before we sign off, let's play a quick game, shall we? I'm still joined with Savannah from Black Student Union, president, and basically now, near the end of the show, I just usually always play a game. I just always find it fun to do. I try to come up with a new game every time, but I'm always going back to the same games here and there. But you are familiar with Never Have I Ever?
Yes, I am.
You don't have any drinks, sadly. Got to keep it friendly here on the show. But so basically, just I'm going to ask a random question in the form of a never have I ever statement, and we have to answer honestly and explain if it is needed. So with that being said, we'll go with the first one. Never have I ever broken the 5-second rule.
Have I? I don't think I have.
I know I have. When I was younger,
Yeah, okay.
definitely, because I was like, oh, okay. But now, especially now in today's world, like, the floor is filthy.
5 seconds, it's more like 3 seconds. All right.
More like
Keep
1
it.
second.
I don't want it.
But, today, especially not only just because of the pandemic, but it just makes you realize how dirty some things are. But that is a totally separate conversation. But next one, never have I ever used a cheesy pickup line.
Oh, yeah.
Always have. Always have. I think my favorite one is always, it was funny, I went to Nashville and Memphis last August, and I said, okay, I need to take something for Instagram, and of course I put like, I'm the only 10 I see.
Yeah, that's the perfect.
That's
a good, that's an old one, but that's a good.
Is there any cheesy pickup lines you like to use?
Let me think. I just put one in my notes not that long ago because I heard it on TV and I thought it was like the corniest, but like it was so smooth. I think that's what really got me. I can't think of it now, but I good for a corny, cheesy pickup line.
Definitely love that. All right, next one. Never have I ever stayed up for more than 24 hours.
More than 24 hours?
I know I haven't.
No. I've probably stayed up for like almost 24 hours, but never.
I know I've stayed up for like 19, 20, 21. But
Yeah, exactly. I've never stayed up for.
Not a whole 24, though.
I don't know if I could. After
I know
those
that,
couple hours, you start getting crazy and So
I know that growing up at my church, we would have this party thing where the goal was to stay up at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was like a 24-hour party. We would just bring video games and do whatever we needed to do to try to stay up 24 hours. I never made it because I think I would almost make it. I would get to like 23 and a half hours and then crash.
yeah, like I love sleep. I need my sleep, but when it comes down to it, and I'm really, really tired, and is that shutting down? I'm falling asleep.
Right, definitely. Okay, next one. Never have I ever accidentally electrocuted myself.
No, I've never.
I have, unfortunately.
Really? I need to know. I need to know.
So this was when I was younger. I was probably like 10 or something. Now I definitely know not to do it again. I was using the toaster.
Oh my.
And my bread got stuck, and me not knowing, I grabbed out a metal fork to try and get it out. And it wasn't, it was just like a quick shock or something, but now I know not to ever do that again. So be careful with toasters are dangerous.
Trying to get my bagel out now.
Just flip the toaster upside down.
Exactly, shake it a little.
And last one. I just like to always throw this one in whenever I play with friends. Never have I ever lied while playing this game.
Not playing this game? No, I've never. It's never have I ever.
Not today's game, I would say, literally.
Not today's game. And
Gotta be.
that's what makes it fun, hoping everyone tells the truth.
Exactly. Well, that is how we play Never Have I Ever. It's always fun. And it's always hard to come up with the questions, too, because I'm thinking, okay, I have to do clean, friendly
Yeah,
ones.
playing with your friends is not always clean and friendly.
Exactly. Well, looking at the time, we don't have any more time. That concludes today's episode of Caton'S Corner. I would like to thank all my guests from today, Savannah Dorsey and Professor Todd Pinkham. I would like to thank all of you for watching, and thank you to everyone working in the control room as well. I'll return with another new episode in 2 weeks, so be sure to mark your calendars. And until then, you can always stay up to date and follow CUTV, WCAL, and the Cal Times on all of its social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1, for my show and all other content that we bring to you as the semester goes on. And definitely go follow Black Student Union's Instagram page.
Please.
But that is it for today. So until next time, please wear a mask, stay safe, stay 6 feet apart, and stay beautiful. Bye, everybody.